Bro, I'm low-key faded, bro.
Highway.
What's this guy supposed to be, the ultimate badass?
They ain't ready. They ain't ready, Joe. They ain't ready. Here we go.
I'm gonna go out here, guys.
What is it? You ain't Mexican. What is that?
Kind of looks it a little bit though, so I dig a little deep in there, right? But yeah, he's got that. He did that.
He's in the building.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the next episode of the Frisco Report. We are live in effect, all right? It is Veterans Day. Shout out to all the veterans around the world. Today's your day, and well-deserved. Mike, we are navigating to the bye week now, the final days. Actually, it's done pretty much. Practice mode, right? Back to work, right, Mike? How you doing, man? How you feeling? And what's the latest?
Man, dude, feeling great. You know, Cowboys coming off a bye week. You know, on the first report, I don't think we've touched on Marshawn Nealon. So rest in peace to Marshawn Nealon. The Cowboys will wear a 94 emblem on their helmet, and they will for the rest of the season, and then for 2 games they will wear a Marshawn Nealon player designed shirt for 2 games. And then the home game against the Eagles, the Dallas Cowboys will do a tribute video for Marshawn Nealon, and his family is supposed to be in attendance for that. But good riddance, Marshawn Nealon. And you guys, if you guys need any mental talk through or anything, give me or Joe a holler. We'll try to get to you and be there for you as best we can.
Hold on. Did you say good riddance?
Did I say good riddance? Did I say good riddance?
Oh, bro, I'm low-key faded, bro.
Hey, bro. Are you low-key faded, bro? No, I'm just kidding.
I might be.
Hey, man. But yeah, good points all around, man. Yeah, good point there on Nealon. You know, it is very tragic news, man. So anybody that needs help in their mental space, get it, reach out. There's always help, man. Yeah, there's always an answer. But yeah, man, football time, bro. Bye week in the bag. It's workout times, bro. So now, Mike, you know, we got the trade in the bag. Quinnen Williams. We got Logan Wilson. And now it's onward to how does this go, bro? How does the rest of the season shape up? The thumbnail, Mike? Eberflus is on the hot seat, Mike. He is. And I think this is a trial for him. I guess you could say what would you call it? A rehearsal? Yeah, I guess you could say for the rest of the season, given the new talent that has been infused in here. Would you say that's accurate, Mike, or what's your thought on that?
You know, Jerry's really gambling on the defense side of the ball. You know, me and Uncensored, shout out to Uncensored. We talked earlier today about this. I'm excited to see you know what the future holds, right? You want to know, obviously the Cowboys only have a 4% chance to make it the playoffs. So this is for next year. So I'm excited for the addition of Logan Wilson and Quinnen Williams, because Quinnen Williams turns 28 December 20th. So he'll be 28 the remainder of next year, right, for the Dallas Cowboys. So that's positive, right? And then Logan Wilson gets to get another year under his belt to see what happens here. So I'm excited to see what these guys can do for the future. I hope they get a lot of playing time with the star on their helmet. So we get to know what we have next year. We get to know, you know, what our strategy is for drafting right here on the Frisco Report. we get to look at a lot of things.
And we do draft better than Will McClay and these idiots. That we do. Nah, you want the right evaluations? We give it to you here. We even have inside information as the draft season goes. We do. All right. And I'm not going to back down from that. McClay sucks, and we do a better job of it. All right. But man, it's going to be fun draft season. We got 2 first-round picks. I think that was a good move there on the trade. So I love it. We keep the 2 first-round picks. It gives us, maybe we want to move down that second one, pick up picks for a second and third. Maybe they trade all the way out. Maybe somebody wants to move into the Packers pick, and we move all the way out, and we pick up a future one. And by the time you know it, the Quinnen Williams trade, we got him for free. I mean, can you imagine, bro? We gave up a second, right? And a 2027 first. What if through some maneuvering, not that I trust this front office to do it, if they pick up picks and it's almost like Quinnen is free, almost, I would love to see it, dude.
Yeah. With the Packers offense struggling the way they are, that could be a very well top 15 pick. If that offense keeps struggling the way it's struggling, they just lost to the nasty Eagles because their offense ain't no good, right? So if the Packers keep doing what the Packers are doing on offense, that pick next year for 2026 could be right there around the Cowboys. Back-to-back picks for the Dallas Cowboys, dare I say.
That would be fun. I would love back-to-back picks.
So, I mean, you're looking at a lot of equity for those draft picks, Joe, to go up and move around and do the necessary things to gain a second, possibly gain a third. I'm loving it. And shout out to Jerry. I know why I give Jerry a lot of hate and I criticize him a lot, but you get the best defensive tackle in the draft, or excuse me, in trade in the NFL, and you still get to keep your 2026 picks, both of them. I love it. I like that.
And Jerry loves it. It's all about getting eyes on the prize, which is the money. All right, not so much the victories on the field, but like you said, the revenue. All right, that's where it's at. HBO revenue is going to be shooting through the roof here with the NFC East Hard Knocks kicking off in just a few weeks. So, yeah, I think, behind the scenes, Quinnen Williams, that's going to be interesting to see on the Hard Knocks. The Marshawn Nealon situation will probably be on there in some form or fashion. And the drama, Eberflus. Is this guy going to stick around? So, for me, Mike, circling back to this, I think he is on a rehearsal. You know what I mean? Because you look at the way the NFL is, teams they lose all their staff, and there's available DCs that can become available, even some that are maybe not a DC, but maybe an up and coming person that you could pick off, like a Leonard from the Broncos, right? His name's been tossed around. If you can get a better caliber defensive coordinator in here with Quinnen Williams and build around this now revamped middle of the defense, maybe, just maybe, 2026 will be something for us. Maybe. All right.
Yeah, no, it's a big possibility. When you look at Matt Eberflus in this defense, if things don't turn around with the pieces coming back, right? Overshown, Revel, Quinnen Williams, Logan Wilson, you potentially got 4 new starters for next year. If you can't make that work with the rest of the games that you have left and show some type of consistency, it's time for you to go. We got you new toys, and you can't play with them. It's time for you to go. Bring somebody in that knows how to work with these guys, because if he can't work with these 4 new pieces on top of Hooker coming back, on top of Donald Wilson coming back, He's a lost cause, bro. He's a lost cause. He'll be worse than Mike Nolan.
Well, let me ask you this. Hypothetically, Dan Quinn, the loser of losers, has taken over the defensive play calling. Joe Witt has been removed from the defensive play caller. If Joe Witt was available, is he an upgrade over Eberflus?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. So maybe, and that's a Dan Quinn guy. He bring Dan Quinn type of system back in here, right? So he might be available, like we're saying, right?
Come on back to Dallas.
Yeah, could be, man. Could be in the works. I mean, you just never know, So I just don't think I really don't think that Eberflus has what it takes, man. I think they're going to give him the talent. And I'm sorry, but I am seeing a lot of people like, oh, this defense is going to turn it around. I mean, it's possible, but with Eberflus in there, I think it's a tough task, bro, to be quite honest. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it definitely is a tough task. And one thing I don't like, Joe, and Savage has been shout out to Danny Savage, the draft guru. He's been harping on this. We're going to have 4 offensive coordinators in 4 years. That's not a recipe for success. And so when I talked about this on Freaky Friday or Talking Crazy, one of the 2 shows, I said, if Matt Eberflus stays, then he'll have 2 draft classes under his belt. He'll have a little bit more players that maybe could potentially fit his scheme, right? So then now there's really no excuse because now he's taken over a Dan Quinn, a Zimmer defense. Dan Quinn, Zimmer guys. So 2 drafts under your belt, you better do something. With the addition of Quentin Williams and Logan Wilson, there's no more excuses for this guy, Joe.
Yeah, there really is no excuses. You know what I mean? Now, if you look at the draft, and if they were to keep Eberflus, they do need to get him a safety because that is a staple of the Marinelli Tampa defense is a safety. Who can cover and can roam sideline to sideline. Kind of like a Rondé Barber, kind of like a Earl Thomas, right? Like. That type of a safety, somebody that can just get around. We don't have that, so that would be something. They haven't drafted a safety early in the first round since Roy Williams out of Oklahoma, the Sooners, right? And we're talking the Campo era, right? When we drafted him, right? So that's a long drought, bro. Cowboys are very notorious for holding out. Its safety and quarterback now have the longest droughts of being drafted in the first round, Mike. So
yeah, you get to see the value of things, right? The Cowboys don't value running back. The Cowboys don't value edge rusher. The Cowboys don't value drafting quarterbacks early, and they don't value safeties. It's just something that they go gamble on, and we've always seen it's a ticking time bomb, Joe, and it's always blown up in their face one way or another.
And it is very disappointing indeed. All right.
Mike, we know that Eberflus is on the hot seat, right? Is Schottenheimer on the hot seat? All right, 3-5-1. Made some trades. You got Pickens. You have an offense that can score, but it's about the whole team as a head coach. You're in charge of the team, not just I'm taking care of the offense and this dude's taking care of the defense, right? So, at some point, does the flame turn on Brian Schottenheimer? Is it on? What's your thoughts on Brian Schottenheimer? Should he be on the hot seat?
For me, speaking of my perspective and not Jerry's, for me, it would be on, Joe. Schottenheimer 2 weeks ago wrote a check that his mouth simply could not cash. He said you would notice changes on the defense. Prior Cardinals game. Did you see changes, Joe? Because I didn't. Now, if you look at the Bears game, the Panthers game, the Eagles game, because they didn't score in the second half, the Eagles game, the Broncos game, the Cardinals game, they didn't do a good job on offense. Schottenheimer was taking a lot of this blame. Sure, we can blame it on, well, he's a rookie head coach. He's been in the league 20-something years. There's no excuse for an offensive coordinator to have that type of performance with the 10-year vet, with a guy like CD, with a guy like Pickens, with a guy like Javonte Williams, with some of the pieces that you have on O-line. Is it perfect on the O-line? No. Where the heck is Schoonmaker? Where the heck is Brevin Span forward? Why can't these guys hit on all cylinders? That is why Schottenheimer, for me, is on a hot seat, Joe. Is because you write a check your mouth can't cash, and your offense in 5 games was non-existent. And obviously I could point at the defense being 32nd, but there's more pieces to that puzzle, Joe. There's more pieces to that puzzle. That's an easy answer. Oh, well, the defense 32nd. That's his heck. No. Look what he did. Look how this offense performed. That's the angle I'm taking, Joe.
It's a fair answer, and it's a good answer. It's fair, right? Because I mean, if we're being real about it, that's what our channel, that's what this podcast is. We're realistic about it, you know. He should be on the hot seat. 3-5-1. It's a losing record. You're in charge of the team. You know what I mean? So I want to see wins. I don't want a Campo season where it's 5-11 or 5 and what would it be these days? 5-12?
12, yeah, 5 and 12.
I don't want that. I do not want that, man. That is unacceptable. So yeah, I mean, the fair answer is yeah, he's on the hot seat. But you're right, Jerry and this bumbling front office, they'll give him the reprieve, you know, as they would say. And who knows for how many seasons they would do that. You know, they'll come in here, Mike, in the postseason and be like, oh, we got to do moves and radical changes. It's always changes, dude, right? So, you know, what would that be defensively? You know, they hype it up. You know what I mean? Everything about the Cowboys is hype, Mike, and we see it in training camp. That's why, and I've said this before, I don't want to beat a dead horse about it, but training camp is hyped up now. You don't get shit out of it now, right? Like you said, Brevin Span Ford, right? He was doing all kinds of badass stuff in the training camp. Nowhere to be found, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of these guys do that. Tolbert, he's one of these training camp princesses. He doesn't do crap either, bro. So it is, man. The training camp is nothing. You don't get nothing out of the offseason with the Cowboys. But yeah, he is on the hot seat, Mike. He has to be. Now, looking ahead now, Mike, we have the Raiders next, right? Coming out the bye week. So you have to crush these guys. This is a bad team, dude. Like, if you come out here and you lose to the Raiders, Mike, who falls on that sword?
It has to be Schottenheimer. It has to be. He's the guy leading this pack. If you fall on this, if you lose against the Raiders, you obviously didn't make changes on the defense side of the ball. You obviously didn't figure out why your offense isn't clicking, right? You obviously didn't figure, and to lose that game, you have to be penalized almost every play. So you obviously didn't fix the penalties. That has been a thorn in the Cowboys' side, especially under Schottenheimer. Pre-snap penalties at home should not happen, Joe, and it happens right here in Arlington, Texas, at AT&T Stadium. Stupid stuff like that.
Right.
If you lose to the Raiders and you lose with penalties and you lose because your offense can't score points and you lose because they ran, Ashton Genty ran for 1,000 yards in one game on you, they need to be fired, both of them, right then and there. No questions asked. They didn't change anything. They didn't learn anything. They're stubborn. They're hard-headed. They think they don't need to change anything, and they should be gone.
I'm with you, bro. Like I really am, and maybe some people think it would be extreme, but it needs to be on the table because you have that week to prepare. The extra week, essentially, you have 2 weeks to prepare. You come out here bumbling and fumbling away this game. It's unacceptable, man. You can't make excuses. There cannot be any excuses. You know, they'll try to sell it on something, right? Oh, the team was still this and that, and new players, they're getting the groove back. I mean, they're always those spinning, dude. But it would be unacceptable, bro. Yeah, man, Genty, bro. Hey, he's been having an okay season. Not anything. Not like a Bijan Robinson type. But I mean, with us, he might run all over us, bro. So that
100%.
And if that happens, it is still coaching because you have Quinnen Williams, like he's like 1A, 1B, your defensive tackle in the entire league, right? And you have Frank in there, so they can't get ran on here. If they get ran on big time, that ain't no good, bro. It would not be good.
Yeah. No, with the addition of Quinnen Williams, the expectation is that the Dallas Cowboys are going to run a 5-man front and having Quinnen Williams play the nose. I also heard that they try to move Quinnen Williams to the 3-tech and the Jets try to move him to the 3-tech, and he was pissed off about it. He doesn't want to play the 3. So as to Savage points, we got 3 1-techs, and they have to figure out how to do that. If the 5-man front with Quinnen Williams being the nose, if that's the way to do it, then by all means do it, and let's see if it works. But you got to make sure the guy that we just traded for is happy.
Yeah. It's definitely going to be a game. They have players. I mean, I don't know who's going to be the quarterback, Gino or the backup. Is it Aiden O'Connell? Either way, we make everybody look like Joe Montana in the prime of his life, dude. So
it's Kenny Clark as the backup over there. Not Kenny Clark. Kenny Pickett.
Okay. So he would be the second coming of Joe Montana. So yeah, man, it's I do want to see a difference. I mean, they have been saying this whole thing about change, players in and out, and nothing has. They've tried everything. They've hit the ceiling on trying different things. Now they're just saying it. You know what I mean? Trying to like. I mean, it's like there's a disaster over here, and they're trying to distract you. Like, oh, look over here. Pay no attention to the mess over here. Look right here. You know what I mean? I feel like that's what it is with Eberflus, bro. So, Revel and Overshown are they in fact coming back? The cyborgs, as we call them.
Yes, they are officially active. They are officially on the roster, and they're back, ready to attack, Joe.
It is cyborg season, bro. We need all the help we can, and I'm interested to see what the snap count is going to be on these guys. All right, especially Overshown. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see some durability out of this guy. Mike, are we going to get it?
Yeah, you definitely don't want the Overshown conversation to be, God, if only he could stay healthy, right? And I don't think Overshown wants that type of title either. But the Cowboys, Overshown, they have to be smart, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think the snap count has to be 20 to 25 plays maximum, not minimum, maximum.
Mm-hmm.
And just get ready for next year. With the 4% playoff chance, there's zero reason to do that. And that's probably maybe 25 snaps a game just until next year.
Yeah, and we're already in November. You definitely don't want to take on another devastating injury again. So, yeah, man, I'm with you, bro. Safety first. Ramp him up. Don't just let him do what he wants. He's probably going to want to play every snap he can. But Revel, the cornerback, the Dr. Cooper special for this season. What's your expectations on this guy, this player here?
You know, with the consistency that I've seen from guys like Jalen Smith, Michael Gallup, if there is Terrence Steele, if there's a high expectation that you're going to come back and do something and you don't, you got to look at who performed that surgery, and that's Dr. Cooper, right? So with him doing that schedule, with him jumping, tweaking whatever he tweaked,
Yep.
being out more, that's alarming. That's alarming, Joe. Now, wearing the whole knee brace in practice, that stuff doesn't bother me. Mike McCarthy implemented knee braces in practice when he first got here. The entire offensive line wore knee braces when they practiced. So maybe that's just something Schottenheimer liked and carried over from Mike McCarthy. So the whole knee brace thing don't bother me. But what does bother me is if you jump and you tweak something and then your dad has to come out publicly and say he's not ready, that's alarming to me. So for Revel, I'm actually going to say 15 snaps a game up until maybe December. And then you can maybe go 25 to 30 snaps after that. But right now, dude, I just want to – I don't want the young guy to lose his confidence because he's getting beat because that leg ain't ready, right?
Yeah.
15 snaps. And then if he does good, raise it up to 25, 30 in December.
I like the point you make there about the confidence, right? I don't want this to turn to Mo Claiborne 2.0, right? The injury, the lack of confidence, the high expectations. Bring him along, like you said, Mike. Ramp him up each game and let him get that confidence, like you're saying there. I think that's a huge part of the game. It's mental. And, yeah, you got to protect the player here early. That's why, I'm seeing a lot of this stuff. Not us, but there's other creators out there. What the expectations are, they're pumping up this like the defense is going to snap into place over the bye week. Oh, we're getting Overshown, we're getting Revel, we got Quinnen and all this other stuff. I mean, we got to see it first. I'm not just going to anoint this as being like, oh, it's fixed, because I've said it before, Mike, that at least a minimum 50% of this defensive roster is trash as far as quality of the player, and that's because of McClay's poor drafting in the draft on defense, which is documented, right? It's out there. So you have a lot of work to do. That's why these picks that we have in the draft, they got to hit on them. So
yeah, no, the Morris Claiborne comparison, Joe, is that's chef's kiss, Joe. That is the comparison right there. They have to really evaluate these guys smartly, and even if Overshown's 15 snaps a game, so be it. He still needs to build confidence too. They better do this right, Joe, and not rush. If these guys get 35 plus snaps a game against these Raiders, they all need to be fired.
Yeah, no, that's a fact, bro. It really is. High investments, early round picks, and coming off major surgeries, so they need to, hedge their bets, I guess you could say, and just go on the side of safety, But interesting rest of the way, Mike. We have talked about this before, and a lot of people do, but now you're getting into the really thick part of the season. The heavy hitters are coming to town or on the road, right? So what is your expectation realistically? Let's look at it two ways. Let's say that Eberflus and some of these people coming back helps the defense just enough where the offense can pull out the wins for you, and the defense does have more stops, just enough to win some games? Or what is the outlook if the defense still stinks it up and we lose games? Like what is the feeling here? Like what do you see happening here with the most likely scenario?
And people might think this is a homer move, and this isn't, because I absolutely despise the Eagles. But looking at the schedule, I think we can win the next 2 games. Raiders, Eagles. I really feel like we can win those games. But that's the last 2 games you're winning on the year, unless until you play the Giants and the Commanders. So everything in between, the Chiefs, the Lions, the Vikings, and the Chargers, I don't see how you beat those guys. The next 8 games, I got 4-4, Joe. 4-4. What does that put you? 7, 9, and 1. Not good.
Let's take a peek at this, right? Let's look at the schedule, just for the giggles of it. All right, we are going to be out of the bye week with the Raiders, like we've been talking about, right? That's at LA, or I mean, I'm talking about Vegas. That's at Vegas, right? And then you got Philly, you got the Chiefs who are coming on strong here, right? Detroit, that's a hell of a team right there. They're looking like they're hitting their playoff stride right now, Mike. Detroit. Minnesota, they always play us tough. That's like there's always that one team that plays you tough. Minnesota is one of those teams, Mike.
Yep.
Los Angeles Chargers, I think Harbaugh's got this team on the uptick. It's just a matter of when he's going to get them to the conference championship. They're looking really good. Chargers, they just play good football, sound football. Commanders, I think we can beat these guys, dude. I think the honeymoon's over there for Quinn. I said 3 initially, but man, it ain't looking good right now for them, dude. So I think you can take them. Giants, I think you take them too. So, but man, yeah, it's 2 to 3 wins is kind of what I have. Looking at the rest of this, realistically, Mike, 2 to 3 more wins, I think, for me.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm 4-4. I think they go 500 in the season.
And if you're hovering right around that, it's kind of what we've talked about. You can't stack a bunch of wins together. It's always this we're going the wrong way. We're going back to the Garrett times where it's a pattern. You know what I mean? Give me a stack of wins. Go on a streak. You know what I'm saying? Like, but this team right now that we have, we don't have that capability, Mike. I don't think. Maybe they'll surprise the crap out of us. Maybe, they have something special go on here. Maybe they dedicate the season to Marshawn Kneeland.
Don't do that.
And they do something, bro.
No. What if they dedicate it to Marshawn and they go 0-8?
Yeah.
Just wear the decals, wear the shirts, honor him good, and that's it. Don't dedicate no season, because this team is not good enough to dedicate shit.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. They're not good enough, bro. They're not good enough right now, and we're just going to go through the storm together, which we've been doing with you guys, and and see what the offseason has for us, bro. You know what I mean? I think the offseason for this division is going to be cinematic. I think it's going to be something crazy. Giants are going to be looking for a coach. Maybe we're looking for a defensive coordinator. Maybe who knows what else? You know what I'm saying? So the draft is going to be wild. Do they change up free agency? We should have money to spend. I mean, you know what I mean? What do they do with Pickens? Is it a franchise tag or is it an extension? What do they do there? So
I don't think they have money to spend, Joe. I actually looked at this the other day and I was kind of like flabbergasted, because they are starting the year negative $46 million.
the hell?
$46 million negative to start next year.
Ain't no good, bro.
Now, if they don't, whatever cap they don't use rolls into next year. So right now they got $20 million right now. So that'll be negative $26 million if that $20 million rolls over.
I gotta ask you this. I want your honest opinion. All right. Do you touch Dak Prescott's contract?
Yeah, I think you have to. I was against it. If once you touch it once, you kind of screw yourself anyway. So you might as well touch it again. I mean, you have to, right? So you have to do it. So if the Cowboys do a restructure for Dak Prescott, that frees up $30.9 million. That gets you $4 million. Now, what you have to do is you have to cut Diggs, you have to cut Donald Wilson, you have to cut Terrence Steele. You have to cut a lot of these lame contracts, and that will get you more salary cap dollars. If Kenny Pickett goes, that gets you $20 million right there. So Cowboys can make room to do stuff, but Kenny Clark will be gone.
Don't say that. If anybody should be gone, it should be Osa Odigizua.
The one sack asshole.
Unbelievable. Yeah, bro, that's gonna be interesting too, man. So get ready. The rest of the season is gonna be something to be watched. Win, lose, or draw. We've already got our draw in the bag. So how many wins, everybody in the chat box? How many wins do you think we're going to get? Now, let me know in the chat box. Do you have us winning a whole bunch? Do you have us going 500? Or is this team going to be drafting in the top 10? You know what I mean? So let me know in the comments.
And top 15 if the Packers keep it up.
I sure love the Packers to implode, bro. I would love that.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
I really would.
Micah didn't show up. Go figure. Packers take that.
Yeah, man. It's just one of those things, dude. Like we kind of already knew that, right? And I really do. I think even if we had him this season, we would still be in this predicament of just, not very good on defense. You might have some more sacks, but this is not enough. The secondary is a disaster. Your linebackers are a disaster. They're getting blown up on the second level by the O linemen because your front sucks. So we'll see, man. We'll see what happens there. That's one reason I am a little bit concerned about Overshown. You know what I mean? Like we gotta have that front has to be playing good, man. If Overshown gets blown up by some of these big ass guards, linemen in general, it won't be good, bro. It won't be good, right?
Yeah, you have to keep Overshown out of traffic. That's how he got hurt. He got caught in traffic. I don't know how you play him. I think you just make him line him up over there with the other side of Ezeraku, 2-point stance and go, or don't even put his hand in the dirt. Just stand up and go like Ware used to do back in the day. Like I don't want this guy anywhere near a dog pile, Joe.
That's why I feel like if we still don't have an identity here, I want to look into a 3-4 alignment next season. I want to look into it. I want to utilize.
You have the pieces.
Yeah, we have some of them. I want to utilize Ezeraku as an outside linebacker, and maybe Overshown is one of the other ones, man. You know what I mean? So he's just very light, bro. I don't think he has enough body armor. You know what I'm talking about, Mike? Like we've seen him before, right? Like there's always that one player on the team who is fast but a little too lean. Nah, doesn't have the body armor. You know what I mean? And I just feel that Overshown is going to be that type of guy. You know what I mean? I don't think he can bulk up. I don't think his frame is made that way.
It'll be interesting to see if he did put on any muscle mass. I'm sure he'll do a player interview, and there'll be some pictures of him, and we'll be able to gauge if he building anything up. Now, obviously, NFL players, so they're just all naturally have chicken legs, but the upper build, Joe, we're all gonna see what they have. Why is that? Why did every NFL player got chicken legs?
Well, here's where that actually affects the quarterback position. If your quarterback is slender, we've seen it. They don't last. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like we saw with RG. You're seeing with Jaden Daniels. You've seen him with Carson Wentz. You saw it with this other homeboy from the Sooners who was jumping around here for a while. What was his name, dude?
Sam Bradford.
Bradford. You got it. These types of dudes, man. If they're slender like that, they won't make it, bro. They just won't. You gotta have something to you. Either you gotta be a little bit stocky. You gotta have some body armor, bro.
Yeah. You have. I don't get it, dude. Like when I went to training camps and games and preseason, I'm like, dude, these guys are tiny on that legs, on the legs, dude. Insane.
Can't skip leg day, bro. It's important.
Uncensored said Hurts has strong legs. He might have strong legs, but I bet they're itty bitty. Don't let the camera add 10 pounds, dog. Those legs with chicken legs, I guarantee you.
Any news on Blue or Maffa?
Haven't heard nothing.
Yeah, well, I've heard this. I've heard that they are obviously they do like Maffa, and I think they're just going to stash him. You know, I don't know if we're going to see him this season. Blue, complete bust, bro. He's not about football, man. I'm hearing whispers. And shout out to Dane Brugler's assessment on Jadon Blue. He had it there in black and white, and a lot of teams passed on him. But us, we picked the guy. It was right there. It was right there. You know, he had this red flag there of effort and this sort of motivation. You know, he was going to be a project. And that's what they're looking like they're having here, bro. We don't have time for that. We did that with little bitty Mighty Mouse. And that was a waste of time, dude. Like, they're going to have to bring in another back. You know what I mean? So, I'm not saying draft one in the first round, but they're gonna have to draft one not in the late round, but somewhere in the middle. And we don't have a third round.
We don't have a second either.
Second round, so that I think that Packers pick might need to get traded down, man, and get some picks.
Yeah. You know, if somehow they can figure out a way to sign Pickens and use the franchise tag on Javonte Williams, I think that might be a cheaper tag on a running back than the wide receiver. So figure out how to make that contract light for Pickens, franchise tag Javonte Williams, and go draft your guy. Jadon Blue, the guy's a fumbler. And what did he do, Joe? He fumbled and bumbled.
Javonte Williams, he's 25. What is his contract?
It was a 1-year deal.
Oh, man, I wish I would have been a 2. Let's see here. Yeah, you're right, Mike. It was a 2-year, $3 million contract.
2 year or 1 year?
1 year.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1 year. He's got some incentives in there as well, so could go up. Hopefully they learn their lesson here. I would re-sign him, man. You know what I mean? Dowdle, maybe you could have had him at the same price. I don't know, but he's playing really well for the Panthers. You know what I mean? I mean he's doing really well. So Javonte Williams, I would like to keep him in the system as your thunder back. You know, either in free agency or the draft, preferably get you that.
He's only 25. Williams is only 25.
Yeah, Javonte's only 25 right now.
One of my bell cow, man. 3 more years. You can do a 2-year. 30-year option, 3-year total deal. Give me that.
Yeah.
$8 million a year. Let's see if we
Mhm.
can make that work. 3-year, $24 million.
Yeah. Let's see what they do, bro. Let's see what they do. Mike, I think that's all we have tonight. The Frisco Report is live and in effect. And we're going to call it a night here. Mike, let everybody know where they can find you if they haven't already, bro.
Yeah. Cowboys Corner right here on YouTube. _ Cowboys Corner on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Uncensored Daddy Savage, Asian Persuasion. Mike actually did 2 super chats, Joe. We'll touch on this real quick. Matt Eberflus still needs to be fired. He's the weakest link on the coaching staff. Until he gets fired, we'll continue to hold back the defense. And then he also said Schottenheimer and Eberflus ankle dumb and dumber, Joe.
I love both those super chats. Thank you, Mike. And I think you're right on both of those. Absolutely, bro. Yeah, man. He's going to be auditioning in my eyes. If you can't do anything with with these new additions, then you have to go. I wouldn't even wait to the end of the season. Just move on, dude. You know what I mean? And Dumb and Dumber, if they keep looking the way they have, that is just going to be a real thing.
Yeah. But no, guys, follow me _ Cowboys Corner on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. Cowboys Corner right here on YouTube. Look for that logo. Look for that logo. Subscribe. Notification bell. You don't want to miss Talking Crazy. Sometimes Joe shows up to Talking Crazy, so you don't want to miss it. Don't want to miss it.
Yeah, catch everything that we're on. You know, we're kind of on everywhere. You know, I'll show up on Fifth Quarters stream as well. Love everything that those guys put out there. And of course, my boy right here in Cowboys Corner, Talking Crazy. That's fun. Good times, bro. I appreciate you, bro.
I appreciate you. Did you get new internet provider?
I am now with Verizon, and there was no hiccups tonight. So hopefully,
hiccups.
Hopefully, the change was for the best. No more AT&T.
Dude, that was really good. That was a good show. You didn't freeze.
I know, man. But that's all we have, guys. We'll catch you for the next episode, bros.
Ready?